What do you make of the turn in fortunes for him? We talked about in the first hour, Trafalgar now has him up 8 percentage points in his approval rating to a net of 54%, which he's never hit before.
Well, to me, it's an indictment against the Democratic Party. And I think that a lot of times people are looking at me, Megyn, and they're saying, well, you know what, he's just attacking Democrats or what have you. And I said, it's not just that simple. And I'm going to tell you this, Megyn, and I've never had this conversation with you before, but I think that what people don't realize is that as a black man, you do find yourself getting offended at what we've seen from the Democratic Party. So since 1964, since you had Civil Rights Act and then ultimately the Voting Rights Act and then, you know, the Fair Housing in 1968 and stuff like that, we heard quotes supposedly, purportedly from Lyndon B. Johnson at the time that, you know what, we passed this in the law, we'll have the Negroes voting for us for the next 200 years. Well, it's been over 50, over 60 actually, and for the most part, they've been right. And so I've often said this, because we've been so transparent in our support for the Democratic Party, there's a reason why the black community, by and large, has been considered disenfranchised. Because on one hand, we have a party that takes us for granted because they know they're going to get our vote and they never really had to cater to us. And on the other side, we've alienated a party who, by the way, played a role in pushing civil rights and voting rights legislation in the law in the 60s. And we basically said to hell with you. So as a result, they turned around and said, we're not going to have their support anyway. So you have one party taking us for granted. You have another party assuming they'll never get our support, and we get no representation. What I like about what's transpiring right now with Trump's ascension or return to the White House, what I do like about what has transpired is that it's put the Democratic Party in a position where you no longer get to take us or various communities for granted. You got to go out there and earn our vote. You can't get moralistic and sit on your sanctimonious chair and acting as if you're above reproach. I watched you, and I've watched you interview many people. And again, I don't agree with you 100% of the time. I don't expect you to agree with me 100% of the time. But I respect the hell out of your integrity and what you bring to your show every day. And I watch it every chance I get, to be quite honest with you, because I'm always learning something. But I love how you are not afraid to hold people accountable on a personal level in terms of how they make you feel about things that they say, the policies that they push forth, the things that they've tried to implement. And that's what I'm paying attention to now.